Today I'm going to talk about the particular article that I've gone through on New York Times, and that is about the removal of evolution theory from the textbooks in Turkey. Uh, there's one particular statement that caught my eye was by the education chairperson, the education board chairperson, and this is what he said in defense of removing that particular theory from the textbooks. And I quote, our students don't have the necessary scientific background and information based context needed to comprehend it. This is quite controversial, I must say, because it implies two things. First, is it really an admission by the state that it has not prepared its children up to the level to understand this theory? Or second, does it really mean that the state itself is not interested in making the children learn about the scientific theories and to equip them to know about it and to have scientific intrigue and information to understand it? I think this is not a wise decision by the Turkish government to remove it from the textbooks. And I don't think it is also the job of the government to refrain a child from having particular scientific knowledge. I think it's unfair to them. As for having the studies being secular, I must say that the studies should be kept neutral from all political or religious ideologies, especially when it comes to the scientific knowledge. And yes, it is true that many parents, especially in conservative societies, they want their children to learn about the religious values and they want them to remain in contact with religion all the time. So, for that, they must keep a separate religious education, but it should not be mixed with scientific education. And this is the problem that we face here in Pakistan, where every textbook, the science textbook, begins with the religious text, and it makes a child very confused. And if they are quizzed on science outside of the textbooks, they're not able to comprehend it unless you ask them from the textbooks. And because we are quite popular for rote learning, and they can just give the answers like that, but they do not understand it, they do not comprehend it. However, in comparison, if you talk about Iran, it's an ultra conservative society and the state is very orthodox. However, what is really interesting to note there is that they have kept their scientific education very neutral and free from all religious or political ideologies. And I think this is quite commendable on their part, because if the children are asked about scientific knowledge or if they're quizzed about it, they're very good at it. They can really have their own scientific understanding of things. So they've kept the religious studies separate from the scientific studies. So I think that's quite a good balance that they have managed to keep there, and the education system is not affected. However, as coming back to Turkey, I think it's quite sad to see that the children are made to suffer the political outcome between the two factions, one the ultra conservative faction and the other the liberal and the secular. I think it is unfair to the child if the education system becomes politicized and the scientific knowledge is compromised for the sake of bringing a new ideology or the religious ideology into textbooks. I think that's going to take the Turkey education system one step back, and that's going to have quite dangerous implications for the children in future over there. I think they need to reconsider their policy. Thank you.